So Philippe, you've got some questions about the Unit 1 project. Happy to answer them. Uh,
Yeah, so
what
my
what can I do?
first question was on the cover letter
Yes.
portion. I haven't really written a cover letter before, and I just wanted to know, like, is there like a specific structure that you're looking for the cover letter, or
Yeah,
um,
so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no, no,
off.
no, 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 it's fine, it's fine. You can continue.
Yeah, no, actually our next module, I think it's module 3, will kind of cover like the structure of a cover letter, but a
Okay,
cover letter is really not that intimidating. It's just like, hi employer, I'm applying for this position. I think I'm qualified because of X, Y, and Z. Right? I think the thing that in this assignment we're trying to do with the cover letter is make strong claims and then support it with evidence. So if you're applying for a job that wants somebody who's like a team player, right?
hmm
Maybe one of your claims could be like, you know, I am not only good in a work environment. I'm also like a great team player, and then provide some examples of that that would be relevant to the job.
okay.
So that's really what this cover letter is kind of an exercise in. It's going to be like an exercise in making a strong claim, supporting it with evidence that ties back into the job posting somehow.
Wait, can you repeat that last part again? Is
Yeah.
making a strong claim and providing
Yep.
what?
Making a strong claim, then supporting it with evidence that somehow ties back into the cover letter or ties into the job advertisement somehow, right? So for this assignment, ideally what you'll do is you'll find like a job ad,
Okay.
um, and you'll tailor a cover letter to like a specific job ad. Philippe,
Yep.
I know that I don't believe you have like a specific major. Are you like a business oriented major?
Business accounting, but
Business
right now
accounting.
I'm like thinking of maybe switching. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to see if I can find like an internship in accounting, see if that's really what I want to do
Yeah.
full time. Because I'm in like the phase where I can switch to another like area within business, or I can stay fully accounting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just for the sake of example, like let's say you go online and you find like a business internship.
Yeah.
Um, the business internship, it has a bunch of things that they're looking for in a candidate. One of them is, leadership skills, so that's something that you'll want to like claim about yourself in the cover letter if you think that fits you.
Okay.
You could say like, "Hey, I have really great leadership experience, and here are some examples that support that claim."
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, so if I was to put like I'm a leader in my resume, the cover letter is a chance for me to give an example of how I show that leadership skill.
yeah, yeah. You
Okay.
can you can definitely label like you have leadership skills in your resume, but you'll want to do that in your cover letter as well. Like
Okay.
write out that as like your topic sentence. Be like, um, "Hi, employer. My name is Philippe. I'm applying for this position at your company because I think that I would be a great candidate, a great fit. One of the reasons why I think I would be a great fit is because I'm a great leader. Um, Here's a few examples to support that." Right. So ideally in a cover letter, you'll make like like 2 to 3 strong claims that you'll support with evidence. And yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much it. And it's like a paragraph or two, you know, so it's not too long. But we'll go over like the cover letter format in module 3. So I
Okay.
hope that that assuages some of that anxiety.
Yeah. And for the LinkedIn page as
Yes.
well, I also had questions about that.
Sure.
Like, how thorough do you want us to work on it? You want to like a whole professional profile and detail of like everything, or just like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great question. Ideally, with if you choose to make a LinkedIn profile, now there's 2 options in this assignment,
Yeah.
but if you choose to do the LinkedIn profile, you should be creating it being mindful of the professional identity that you're trying to
Okay.
send out to the world. So I know that we did like a short exercise in the first module about like your professional identity, and maybe some like things that you want to highlight about yourself to potential employers. So think about those key attributes of yourself and how you can really make them stand out in your LinkedIn profile. Um, Also, LinkedIn profiles, there's like a lot of different ways you can customize it for yourself. Obviously, you have like job experience like you do in a resume, but you can add certain qualifications, certain certificates if you have any. You can post examples of your work on there.
Okay.
I think what's really unique about the LinkedIn profile as opposed to a resume is the About You section at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you write a short paragraph about who you are as a professional and who you're trying to attract. So you could say, "Hi, I'm Philippe. I am currently at UMass Dartmouth studying this program, but I have skills in X, Y, and Z. I'm looking for leadership roles or like whatever you're trying to attract, you know?
Okay.
So that's really what the about section is, all about. And then if you have like a professional looking image that also kind of like ties into it too, it's just like consider how you're coming across to a potential employer. Like
Okay.
create the LinkedIn profile based off of like what
You
you
want to be
want.
perceived. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Just to make sure the justification memo is just you reflecting, it's kind of like a reflecting piece in the
Yeah,
sense. Okay.
yeah. So some people get tripped up on the justification memo, but it's really not. I think a lot of people get scared. They're like, "Well, what am I supposed to do?" I think what you just said, it just short and simple. It's where you're reflecting on some of the choices you've made,
Okay.
right? So, for example, what I said earlier is if you're looking at a job ad and they are looking for leadership skills, and you write about that in your cover letter, right? That is something to talk about in your justification memo. You could be like, in my cover letter, I chose to talk about X, Y, and Z because it specifically was listed on the job advertisement. And I
Okay.
chose these specific examples because I thought they best supported that idea. So it's really thinking about the big choices you made in your resume, in your cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile,
Okay.
and explaining them. That's also your chance to say, like, if there's anything that if you had more time or if you can craft the most perfect version of these documents, like what would you have done differently? Right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Um, so I have a question regarding option A for
Yeah.
the two different separate resumes you have to build for that one, or resumes and two cover letters
Yeah.
for yeah, for the so should the jobs they should be completely different from each other to the point you have to completely change everything or remove like certain aspect of your skills? Is that
So
what you mean by that?
that's a great question, Philippe. I would say for option A, right, you only have to create one resume and then two cover letters. You don't have to create two
Oh,
resumes.
you don't
So
have
I
to.
want
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that. So one resume that sort of speaks to your professional identity as a whole, and then two cover letters that speak to the specific needs of two different employers, right? So,
Okay.
but I think your question is, should you pick two completely different ones? I mean, that's a smart choice if you're aiming for like contrast, like, oh, I picked this business internship, which they want these qualifications, but I also picked like this science internship because it has completely separate ones. And you could,
Okay.
in the past, students have, done a little bit of both, so I've had some students who pick two jobs that are very similar and they just, the cover letters are in some ways similar, but they try to pick up on different things from both job ads to talk about. So
Yeah.
they're not like basically repeating the cover letter. And then I've had students like pick drastically different jobs, so
Okay.
yeah.
Um. Another question is just like more personal. So with my resume, even though I am a business student, a lot of my experience is towards like teaching or towards STEM.
Yeah.
And at least when I have applied in the past, like during the summer, I was looking for like small internship. If it was kind of hard for me to get into those business areas because my resume spoke more towards STEM and teaching rather than more like business stuff, whether regardless of even if I took like those business courses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How should I go about like looking for those jobs there? Should I just focus towards so I focus my resume towards like um STEM area or like try to my best to try to gear it towards that business area even too?
Yeah. So I think there's maybe like two levels or two ways to approach this question. From the standpoint of our class, right?
Yeah,
The end goal of this project is not for you to eventually get hired by these people,
yeah,
right? It's just to practice some like writing techniques. So I I would say that it presents a unique challenge if you want to apply to like business or if you
mhm,
want to like look at business jobs for
yeah,
this, where maybe instead of obviously you want to like keep that STEM experience on your resume, but you may
yeah.
also want to create a section like skills, like some soft skills. Like I have
Okay,
leadership ability, I have organizational skills. So you can like create parts of your resume that highlight things that are important to the business field, you know?
okay,
So that's something you might try. Now, in the real world, um, when you're applying for things, it, it sounds like you came up against some challenges there.
yeah,
Um, uh, Honestly, I don't think there's like a right answer in the real
okay,
world. You could take out some of that STEM experience, if you feel like it's hindering you. But um, honestly, one of the biggest pieces of advice I was given, and I don't know what's worked for me, is you look at the job ad and you sort of try to mimic the language that they're using for um, some of the things they're looking for, right?
okay,
So even if your past experience doesn't perfectly align with this new role, there's transferable skills there. So you pick up
okay.
on some of those transferable skills, you try to mimic the language of that job ad, you know. So so that's just one strategy. But
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.